There's so many options when it comes to choosing a personal injury lawyer.
Some claim to get you big bucks, and some say they never lose. So how do you choose?
We say, at the end of the day, it's not about us, it's about you.
It's about you.
At the Eichholz Law Firm, we will work to get you the justice you deserve.
Rely on Ramjack Foundation Repair.
From the station that's on your side, News 12, First at 5, continues.
Today, students at 3 schools are back in their classrooms after a gun was fired inside Josie High School last Wednesday. Pastors and parents at the school early this morning to pray for students.
It let me know that people still care about the school, about the children, about the educators.
As things settle back down at Josie High School, there are still several unanswered questions tonight, including the identity of the 16-year-old alleged shooter. The sheriff's office says the suspect is 16 years old and goes to Josie High School, but other than that, officially, we're still in the dark. And Will, you've been looking into the suspect in this case.
Yeah, that's right. And we still, of course, do not know the identity of the suspect this evening. We've reached out to the sheriff's office and the DA's office for more information on this case. The sheriff's office tells us the suspect is being charged as a juvenile, and that's why we do not have a name yet. Now, we have had several cases in the past where juveniles have been charged as adults. The district attorney's office telling us today the difference between a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old is that Georgia treats all 17-year-olds as adults for criminal offenses, while 16-year-olds and below are treated as juveniles unless a serious violent felony as defined by state statute is committed. Now, the DA's office writes that oddly excludes aggravated assaults in this case. Now, coming up tonight, all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we're breaking down the increase in violence within the Richmond County school system.
And we have also reached out to find out about attendance numbers for today compared to last week. Of course, we will keep you updated as we learn more.
We'll start off in just about 10 minutes. Thanks, Riley. Former Augusta Commissioner Sammy Sias is expected to report to federal prison today. Sias was convicted of destroying evidence related to an investigation into the Jamestown Community Center and then lying about it to federal agents. Sias had until today to turn himself in. He will serve 3 years in prison and will have to pay a $5,000 fine, as well as have 3 years of supervised release.
5 people are recovering from gunshot wounds in Louisville after neighbors say they heard 40 to 50 shots fired. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office says they don't have a suspect yet, though, in last night's shooting. Deputies say they responded to a drive-by around 8:20 on Handy Street. Now, we're told the injuries are non-life-threatening. 3 men and 2 women ages 23 to 37 are hurt. Coming up, all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, neighbors who heard the chaos explain what they know.
A local rescue mission dedicated to the community now needs saving from all of us. Roughly 400 men get help from Garden City Rescue Mission each year, but the nonprofit is fighting to make sure that they can stay open. They need to buy their building for a hefty $495,000 by September 15th in order to keep their doors open. The community is coming together to help this important staple of Augusta keep running.
I went to Victory Baptist not too long ago, and the children, the little kids, sold their toys. Some of them said, I sold my toy for the rescue mission.
In all new tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, our Sydney Hood takes a look at how far along the mission is towards their goal and how you can help.
Gender-affirming care for Georgia's youth will continue for the time being. That's the ruling that came down from a judge in Atlanta just within the last 24 hours.
Our State House reporter Abby Kasoris shares what this means for teens in Georgia.
This ruling in federal court means that transgender teens will be able to continue receiving hormone-related therapy and other gender-related treatments. However, the legal battle is not over.
It's everything. All we want is for our kids to be happy and safe and healthy.
Like most mothers, Jen Slipikov says her primary concern is the happiness of her transgender daughter.
And when you look at her, you're not thinking about the, Democrats versus Republicans or the left versus the right. You're just thinking about this beautiful young woman who is able just to be more of herself.
She fought against Senate Bill 140, prohibiting minors from receiving gender-affirming care like reassignment surgery and hormone therapy. The bill still allows doctors to prescribe puberty blockers. The bill's sponsor, Carden Summers, says those aren't permanent.
We feel that no child should take life-altering hormones that would change their body structure, their chemistry, until they're old enough to make that decision. And we also feel like no child should have a surgery that's completely irreversible.
Roughly a third of states have put limits on minors seeking gender-affirming care. 5 states, including Georgia, are now wrapped up in court after lawsuits from parents claiming the legislation is discriminatory. A federal court judge ruled that the Georgia law violates equal protections, putting a temporary block on the care ban, meaning teens like Slipikov's daughter will be allowed to receive hormones.
Trans kids are the next target. And it's really unfortunate because at the end of the day, we are talking about kids.
The legal battle is not over. We do expect that the court case could go to the appeals court next. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Casoris.
And a reminder, tomorrow is the race for the Aiken primary runoff for mayor. Incumbent Rick Osmond is up against Teddy Milner. Both candidates are Republicans, but you can vote in this even if you are a Democrat. You do need to show a valid form of ID at your designated precinct. The winner will run unopposed in November, meaning they are the winner. Polls are open from 7 to 7.
It's a parent's worst nightmare, and it happens more often than you might think. Just ahead, one mother is warning parents about letting children play with car keys. Riley?
And temperatures tomorrow could be the hottest we have seen so far for 2023, but luckily it does not stick around too long. We'll have that full forecast next.
Water bills have doubled for Augusta, and neighbors are pointing to these water meters as the reason why. All new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we hear from one Richmond County resident on why they're frustrated with what they're paying, and Augusta Utilities on why May's cyber attack is causing the hike in prices now.
Time and weekend plan's going to be really hot on Saturday, and then the front shows up, brings us a better chance for storms Sunday into Monday.
All right, thanks, Riley. Take a look at this. It was 6 years ago today that our area got to witness the Great American Solar Day.
But remember, for any weekend plans, going to be really hot on Saturday, and then the front shows up, brings us a better chance for storms Sunday into Monday.
All right, thanks, Riley. Take a look at this. It was 6 years ago today that our area got to witness the Great American Solar Eclipse. Now, it passed through our area with the eclipse path ending at the South Carolina coast. Our Emily Acton is here now, and Emily, we cannot believe that this was 6 years ago. That's weird to think about.
I know. Yeah, definitely feels like it was a lot, not as far away. It feel like it was a lot sooner than 6 years ago, but the science behind the total solar eclipse is very interesting. That's whenever the moon kind of blocks out the sunlight, or does block out the sunlight, and whenever we get that total eclipse, that is where the umbra is, and so it is total darkness. Again, the moon will kind of just block us here on Earth. Not going to see any light for roughly 7 minutes or so. So very interesting there. Some places will get partial solar eclipse, and that's kind of when we have a little crescent moon almost of sunlight. But if we take a look, our next solar eclipse is expected to be here April 8th, 2024. Now, we're not going to have the best view for this one here in the CSRA, but anywhere, maybe if you're headed to Dallas, Texas, even into Buffalo, New York, those are going to be good places to see the next total solar eclipse. So, pretty interesting stuff.
It was a cool day.
Yeah, we
It
got
was
to wear
really
those
cool.
goofy glasses, too.
Yeah,
That
but
was a
I
good
mean,
time.
they only protected our eyes, Will. It was kind of important. Kind of important. A parent's worst nightmare comes to life for a Somerville mother after she says her children were playing with her keys and locked themselves in a hot car.
Thankfully, her 2 sons made it out okay, but this happens more than you may think. Emily Johnson explains.
And all of a sudden, I was going to grab the keys from Finn. All of a sudden, I heard click.
The door locked behind Maggie, leaving her 2 sons stuck in the hot car.
Gosh, the kids are in the car. I mean, I'm screaming.
It was a mother's worst nightmare, and time slowed down.
it happened within like, half a second. It was so fast.
Berkeley County Dispatch received the call at 4:58, and a deputy was on the scene at 5:10. Maggie's husband had arrived to the preschool with a spare key to get the children out before deputies arrived.
I just kept saying, what is taking the police so long? What is taking the police so long? And I was looking in the parking lot, like, where are they? Where are they?
A family physician with Roper St. Francis says 26% of the times when children are locked inside of a car, it's because the children got a hold of the car keys.
You and I can take our clothing off, we can move around, we can get a drink of water, we can open the door. But if we're stuck in a car and it's hot and our car seat, those little babies just can't get out.
I had no idea that it happens like that frequently, but I can see how it could, because it's like you're not even thinking that.
And to find out more on how to prevent a similar situation from happening to you, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has a section on heat stroke on children on their website. Stick with us. We have much more coming up after the break.
Wrdw.com.
All right, what do we got? Looks like 64 yards to the pin. About 64 mile per hour winds. Dude, there's no wind. Hand me my 64-degree wedge. What's in with you and 64? Are you 64.com. Ready for a check.
College students are gearing up for the start of a new school year, and with technology today, anyone can take college courses pretty much on their smartphone.
And not just any college, as our consumer tech reporter Jamie Tucker shows us, there is a smartphone app that can give anyone an Ivy League education.
Would your family or boss be surprised to hear that you're going to Harvard University in your spare time? This app called edX gives you an Ivy League education for free.
edX started as a website, but now the edX app for iPhone and Android devices offers anyone classes at universities such as Harvard, Cornell, Edinburgh, Cambridge, many others. Over 1,000 courses to choose from. Classes in architecture, chemistry, business and management, philosophy, and education. Enroll in a class and you'll get to see lectures from actual professors at those universities. Start class whenever you like. It shows the class starts the day you enroll. This course in contract law at Harvard includes lectures, and there is homework that will be graded. Take the course at your own pace every day or a few hours each week. The app allows you to audit courses for free, or you can pay a subscription and receive a certificate of completion when you finish. And if you're really serious about going back to school, you can earn a bachelor's degree or even a master's at prestigious universities. For a fee, of course. A master's degree at the University of Texas is $10,000, but the app shows you some financial aid opportunities. Going to college is never easy, but this is an easy way to earn a degree or learn a new skill just on your smartphone. I'm Jamie Tucker, and edX is the app of the day.
Well, the Hornets volleyball team is no stranger to success. Over the last 4 years, they've been to 3 consecutive state semifinals.
2 straight state title matches, 1 state title win. Alyssa, this season it's all about recreating their magic while finding their own identity. Last year's senior class of 7 experienced it all, just like you said. With most of their starters gone, they'll rely on their next big junior class to bring the heat.
But it hasn't come without its challenges. A whole new floor set means a whole new game plan. What used to be their strengths are now in the workshop, blocking, defense, mixing up their swing so that it puts them back in the best position, which in head coach Jeremy Rinder's case is contending for a back-to-back state championship.
Really just getting a new group of people in there and figuring out what leadership's going to look like for you. We're not looking back. We are looking forward, looking ahead, and they don't want to hear any talk of a rebuild. They don't want to hear any sort of that sort of talk. This is their moment. This is their season, and we're going to tackle it that way.
The Hornets won 40 matches last season, 32 of them in a row. Coming up all new on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we find out how they plan to duplicate that success.
When the cranes go up,
That come. Click, click.
If you've gone to a grocery store lately, you might have noticed all the fall and Halloween decorations. They are already on the shelves.
Nope. Which
They
leaves
are.
the question here: how soon is too soon for Halloween decorations? The answer is now. But even Dunkin', Krispy Kreme, and Chick-fil-A have launched fall menu items when these temps are still on the rise for us.
A slew of companies dropped their Halloween releases as early as July this year,
That's
including
ridiculous.
big box stores like Home Goods, Michael's, Target, and Walmart. I say too early.
Yeah, so driving through my neighborhood this weekend, I actually saw someone with Halloween decorations in their front window. I said, what are you doing? It's late August. Like, football hasn't even started yet for college or anything.
Not even Labor Day.
Not even Labor Day.
It's too early.
This is
If I'm still wearing white shoes, it's too early for Halloween decorations.
Well, I'm not sure that's the threshold, but it's too soon.
I would say as long as there's heat advisories out, it's probably not
There
too
we go.
fall-like, but
I would be sweating in like a full Michael Myers mask or something like that, trying to go Halloween.
Will, I cannot
Halloween-y.
wait for you to see my Halloween costume that I'm wearing to work. I'm just going to say. And I'm not going to tell you what it is.
I
I'm not
might
going
have
to tell
some
you what it
PTO
is.
for that day. You
I'm
never
not going to
know.
tell you what it is.
Saving up my PTO for
But I'm going on the record that it's good.
All right.
It's good.
Coming as my
Meredith always comes dressed to the T on Halloween.
I
She
love
has some
it.
good
I
ones.
love
We know.
it.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
a
we
little
know.
extra.
We know.
So don't worry. I'll bring it.
I would say you kind of base it off the weather if it starts feeling like fall, but I know I've been here to where we had 100-degree temperatures through the first week of October.
Your
believe
map
it or
looks
not.
like Halloween over there.
Yeah, a little Halloween-esque out here for us. So we do have some heat advisories in effect for the Western CS area. These are in effect tonight, but they're also in effect again tomorrow. And I think what's most impressive, these actually stay in effect until 10 p.m. So they are expecting the heat index to be over 100 until that time frame tomorrow. Believe it or not, crazy stuff. Now for this afternoon, we are hot. We're a little bit humid. We are feeling over 100 right now here in Augusta. But moving forward this week, Tuesday is looking like the hottest day we'll see over the next 5. Actual temps will be near 100, but the heat index should be closer to 105 tomorrow afternoon. We'll see some relief, though, Wednesday into Thursday. So luckily not sticking around all week long, but it will get hot again by this weekend.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have much more news, weather, and sports coming up after a short break on News 12 at 6 o'clock.